Servus Männer, it's Red Pill Germany again. In Germany, the woke left is collapsing right now. They might be reforming in the future and come back with a vengeance, I'm not gonna deny that, but at the moment it looks pretty bad for them. And it is not only in Germany, you might have noticed already that even in Hollywood and at Netflix and in the more global domain of politics, we see that the extreme over-the-top woke stuff is something that is at the moment not very popular, and people try to distance themselves from it, at least at the surface level, in order not to scare away potential voters. Now, as I predicted, of course, the 3 elections in central Germany that we had recently, Brandenburg, Sachsen, and Thuringia, this kind of accelerated this general trend, and as a result we see now that the most woke party in Germany, the Green Party, is seeing some real turmoil now. So just now after the election in Brandenburg we saw that the 2 very healthy, dynamic and attractive party leaders of the Green Party, Mr. Omid Noripur and Frau Ricarda Lang, and her family name is a little bit ironic considering her aspect ratio, they stepped down from office. And just a couple of days later, in several German federal states, the leadership of the youth organization of the Green Party, and that is quite remarkable, they also stepped down. That was Rheinland-Pfalz, Niedersachsen and Bavaria. And as you remember, the Green Party scored really bad with the young people in central Germany. And now these youngsters are stepping down from their offices, from their leadership offices in the youth organization. But I will shed some light on it because it is not like it looks on the surface level. But before we get into all of that, I want to thank once again my supporters and my subscribers. Check me out on other social media websites. Also, like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to, you can support me via Patreon or Subscribestar. The links are down below. Okay, so let's put things into perspective. We can see that since the year 2022, the Green Party has seen a steady decline on the federal level here in the polls. They were kicked out of the Landtag in Thuringia and in Brandenburg, and they just narrowly, with 5.1%, made it into the state parliament of Saxony. So I told you that makes, of course, party members who want to have a party career, a steady, nice little effortless office job, that makes them nervous because the fewer MPs they have, the lower the likelihood is that they can benefit from this labor-less politician lifestyle. So on the federal level, Mr. Habeck seems to be now the big strong man of the Green Party, and he basically kicked out the leadership. He told them, okay guys, if you don't go, then I will have you removed democratically at the upcoming party convention in November. Then they would have had to go anyway. So they didn't want to lose face in that way, and they stepped down right now, and they can make it look like, oh, we take responsibility for the bad performance of the party, blah, blah, blah. But now Mr. Habeck and his guys are pretty much taking over. He is counted into the camp of Realos. That is the faction of the Green Party that is opposed to the Fundis. Realos are the people who are more centrist. To me, they're all far left commies, of course, but this is what the German media frames it as. So the Realos are a little more centrist, a little nicer to the industry and the economy, whereas the Fundis, they're real like, we should just nationalize everything, we should tax the air completely, we should take away all the money from the workers and from the entrepreneurs and the companies, and we should just go full Stalinist eco-totalitarianism. Of course, they both want that, but the Realos make it look like as if they want to maintain our market economy and our state more or less as it is, which is of course a lie. They just play different roles, but they all want the same thing, the New World Agenda, of course. But that is just what is happening at the top level now. Now let's look at the youth organization, because some of these youngsters gave reasons as to why they left the Green Party youth organization. And that is quite interesting. You must bear in mind that the voters they didn't vote green because they're fed up with the open borders and no deportation policies, because they're fed up with these new environmental laws. I covered that a year ago in great detail, that cost not only businesses but also private households a lot of money and endangers jobs. We see a record number of businesses closing down, industries, the backbone of our industry, the Mittelstand, looking to move or already being in the process of moving abroad for good. And people see that and they don't want anything to do with the Green Party anymore. So that is why the voters, they stay away from the Green Party right now. They're not voting for them. But those youngsters, they said that they leave that party because the Green Party is not extreme enough. They would want to see more immigration. And they said that you are trying to deport some people, like we're talking about 100 people a year or something. That is already too much. When you see that 1 million are coming in and 100 get deported or 1,000, the Green Party youngsters say that's already too much. This is not the left-wing project that we thought it was. And they want to leave the Green Party and form an even more leftist, even more extreme new party or movement or project or what have you. And also in terms of environmentalism, because some of the coal power plants need to be continued now, just because wind and solar are of course fluctuating, stochastic, unreliable sources of electricity. That is already too much for them. They don't want any coal power, which is of course absolutely unmanageable, because they just shut down our last nuclear reactors, so we have nothing to give us power when the sun doesn't shine and when the wind doesn't blow. But they don't care about these real world issues. They never had to work a day in their lives. They mostly come from very privileged upper middle class backgrounds, and they don't know how a factory works or what it means to actually earn money, produce something, or serve someone or anything like that. Do something useful. If they would get their way, we would be starving within 2 or 3 months. Yeah? And because the far left eco-totalitarian Green Party is not extreme enough for them, they leave the party. And these are just the top figures of the youth movement of the Green Party. I'm sure that a lot of people, a lot of the rank and file in that youth movement, they actually think the same way. So the predicament of the Green Party is that the basis of the party, the rank and file, they want more extreme policies, while the leadership of the Green Party is already punished at the election booth for enacting what the youth sees as very, very mild leftist eco-totalitarian policies. So the Green Party cannot win. If they try to be more moderate in their destruction of Germany, their party base is leaving. And if they try to be more extreme in their destruction of Germany, they won't get any votes. That is basically the predicament of the woke left at the moment. Now, the only way I can see this going forward is some sort of, how should I say that? Criminal activity like we saw in the 70s with far left groups like the RAF. Because whatever new party they will found now, they will not get any votes from people, because people in Germany, they've had enough with these kinds of policies right now. They want millions of people deported right now, and not just 10 or 12. And they want secure and closed borders, and not just this wishy-washy thing that we're doing right now with sporadic random checks where like 5% of the people are checked and the rest can still come in. And the people of Germany want the benefits or the welfare programs for our irregular traveling guests. They want them stopped and not continued or even ramped up. So whatever new movement these youngsters will form, they will have to become criminal and extreme, because they want their way. They're like toddlers throwing a temper tantrum. They want their way, but nobody else in Germany really wants that. They're a teeny tiny minority. Everyone hates them. They're those people that glue themselves to the road as some kind of climate protest. These kinds of guys. They're less than 1% of the population, but they want to dictate to the other 99% which way it's going to go. And their way, of course, will destroy our country. So the only thing that I see in their future is illegal activity and extremism and trying to sabotage Germany in that way. And just look up what happened in the 70s in Germany, all this very, very violent activity of the far left that came out of the civil rights movement kind of stuff. Yeah. I see this again right now. They will radicalize themselves further, but nobody wants it. And that will create this kind of cycle where they will just become more extreme and more violent the more that the German people say in democratic elections, for example, that they don't want that. Because these brats will not accept that other people just think differently. They think that they are the only ones who possess the absolute truth and they're the only ones who know what's good for the planet or whatever. So yeah, either we put them behind bars or we will see a lot of murder and mayhem. All right, so this is my little update. This is a direct result of the elections in central Germany that I covered recently. There will be more results of that. Maybe our federal government, our federal regime in Berlin will not survive this year because the FDP also is very, very unhappy. Right now, they want to decide a new retirement pension program that means higher retirement payments for the boomers, while younger people, younger generations would have to pay much more in their fees and in their taxes for social security purposes, basically paying for the retirement of the boomers. Also the healthcare system, etc. So the FDP, the Liberal Party or self-styled Liberal Party, they're very unhappy with that, and maybe the coalition in Berlin will break over this issue. But more about that in the future. Enjoy the rest of your day. Servus, Kameraden.